Hey, if you want to be a millionaire, then make sure you watch this video and subscribe to this channel. How often do you hear that bullshit on YouTube? How many people are telling you how to be a millionaire? Well, those strategies might work if you've already broken the 100K mark and going towards million. But for a lot of people, they're not hitting 100K yet. That means that they don't know exactly what it's like to have a higher income. And when you've got that higher income, then you have the money and the cash flow to start investing in the million, the 10 million, the 100 million. But you're getting the wrong advice. And that's why a lot of these videos don't work. So I'm going to show you today how to break that 100K mark first before you focus on that 1 million, because it's not helping you out. So my name is Dr. Lewis Haydon. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a scientist, studying the brain, studying the way that behaviors of people, the mindset of people, are very successful high income people. So I coach very high income earners, and I'm about to show you today what I've done and worked with other people, and also done for myself to prove that this is possible in becoming a very high income earner. Now, the first place to start is your mindset. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So that is step one. Sort your mindset out. And here's how to do that. Look, is it possible for you to break 100K income per year? Because if you think you can't, then it all stops there. There's no more learning. In fact, you'll probably throw a lot of hate at these videos and videos like this because you think that you can't. So you need to decide what side of the fence you're on. Are you on the side of the fence of the mindset where people just blame and say, hey, look, the only reason that person is wealthy is because they were born into it or because they're lucky that they landed that job? Or do you sit on the side of the fence of taking ownership where you think anything is possible if you do the right steps to make it happen? That's the first step, because if you're on that side of the fence, there's no point watching this video. If you're on this side of the fence, then you're starting to think a little bit differently. So the next step is to think about who else is doing it. Think about who else do you know in your network? Friends, family. And if you haven't got friends or family that are doing over 100K, what about on your social medias? Who are you networked with? And when I say networked, I don't mean some influencer with millions of followers. Somebody that you know, somebody that you can actually have a conversation with. So if you was to message them on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, would they respond to you and have a conversation? You need to observe them, because success leaves clues. Whatever they're doing, follow them on social media. Don't follow people that are talking about millions. Follow people that are just that step ahead, because it's not serving you to have such a big leap. Make sense? If I wanted to go and run a marathon, I wouldn't go and just watch all gold medalists on the Olympics. I would go and see the people and ask my friends, hey, look, you've run a marathon before. Can you give me any tips? Yeah, because they're going to give you the real talk of what it fucking takes. The people that are doing the big things on a big scale may not have the same information that people that you need that are just in front of you that can really help you. So who are these people? The step two is make a list of these people, because you're going to want to be networked with them, or at least around them. So step three, ask yourself this: why not you? Why not you? Why can't you, out of all these people, be one of the top 1% that is making over 100K? Because if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So you need to believe this. This first stage is just about getting that mindset right. So the next step, you've got that list of people. How do you start to think like them? This means that you need to start having more conversations with them and hanging around with them. Are you going to hang around with people that are going to detract you from your goals? Or are you going to hang around people that want to see you win more? So you need to think about your environment. And when I say environment, I don't mean, turn the heating on or put the heating down. I'm talking here about who are you hanging around, because you become the person that you hang around the most. So if you're around a group of people that are all talking shit about things and why you can't be wealthy, then guess what? You will become like them. So you need to start being around people more around this side where people are helping you achieve your goals rather than taking you away from your goals. Now, that doesn't always mean that you need to be sitting in a room with them. You can also start to be hanging around with them on social media. Remember, this is 2024. You can start to follow them on YouTube. You can follow them on Instagram. You can have more conversations. You can join groups where people are discussing the topics that you're into. And it's not just about making 100K. This can be about anything. It's the psychology of what it actually takes to win in that certain goal. Now we've got that out the way. Let me give you the step-by-step guide of not just what I see people using, but what I've done as well to reach 100K. Now, the first step is that you've got to have a plan. You need a blueprint. Get yourself a blueprint. What's included in that blueprint? Think about where the end destination is. What do you want to achieve? Why is that 100K income important to you? When you achieve that 100K, why would your life be any different? So you've really got to experience what it will be like in the timeline when you do start to achieve that. Because if you don't, what's going to keep you driving each day? So have that destination in mind. Is it 100K income, or are you looking for the beyond that? Let's go for the 100K because you're talking about it in this episode, but that's important for everything that you do. Always have that end destination. Now work back across that timeline. Think about what sort of things you're going to need. Start at the 100K. How do you reach 80K? How do you reach 60K? How do you reach 50K? You need a plan in place for how you're going to take these steps. And also give yourself a bit of a timeline as well of a couple of years. The problem with a lot of people today, especially the younger generations, is that they want instant success, instant gratification. They want well dones after everything they do. Here's the harsh reality. Nobody is going to tell you well done for every fucking step that you take when you do this blueprint. So again, back to mindset. You've got to be resilient and you've got to be disciplined. I've got other YouTube videos on this and podcasts. Make sure you check them out if you want more stuff on discipline and being on track to your goals. So number 2, don't quit your current job. You need to maximize on that current job. Maximize on that current job means you're not just being hopeful of a career progression that could happen in 10 years' time. If it is to be, it's up to me. Remember that. If it is to be, it's up to me. So you need to learn how to have discussions with the people that are responsible for your income. And let me tell you, the only way that you will get paid more is if you earn them more. Okay, some woke people might be listening to this right now and going, Lewis, it's not all about the financials. But let me tell you straight. If your transaction is to get paid more, there needs to be a transaction somewhere else for more money to come to them so they can pay you. So we are talking finances. So you need to learn everything about finances in a business. So pick up some basic accounting books and start to learn about how a business makes money. Because if you learn that, make the business money, that can also make you money as well. I hope you wrote that down, by the way, because that's very important. Here's some more stuff to take note on as well. So number 3, outline, just like the business that has to have different products and services to sell, what sort of products and services do you have? What I'm talking about here is your own personal cash flow. The reason a business has products and services is to create cash flow. You, as your own personal brand, need to create cash flow as well. You may already have one cash flow if you've got a job. How do you create more cash flow? Now, here's a piece of bullshit advice that you should always ignore. Oh, you need to go into property to make money. Oh, what you need to do is go and buy businesses or become an entrepreneur. No, you fucking don't. Let me tell you now, if you want to be a high income earner, you don't need to do any of that. What you do need to think about is how can you create the biggest pipeline of income from your current income and then small ones. It doesn't mean you should go and take advice from a load of people telling you that property is the way to do it. Let me tell you, most people telling you that property is the way to do it, guess what they sell? Fucking property courses. So of course they're going to tell you that. What you need to do is figure out what sort of things are you good at, not passionate about, because you won't always be passionate about the stuff that you need to do to become wealthy. What you need to figure out is what sort of things are you good at that can create cash flow. For instance, if you've got a load of advice, let's say you could be a teacher. If you're a teacher, do you think that the stuff that you teach is worth money? Of course it is, or the school would not be paying you, or the university would not be paying you. So are there other people out there that could do with your information? Great. So what sort of things could you do to actually create income online by teaching the stuff that you know? There's an example. There are lots of different examples. Yeah, they could be about property. Yeah, it could be about businesses. But the thing is, this needs to be into your blueprint as well. If you need some help with that, then always reach out to me or visit the page, my website. Go and check that out because it does give you some information and different blog articles on there of what you can do to create these extra cash flows. Outline what you're good at in these cash flow vehicles. Don't do the stuff that you're bad at and think, hey, look, I need to do that. Yeah, if you've got a business, there's going to be some stuff that are constraints that you need to get better at. But for now, just focus on creating the next cash flow, because how many will you need? If you've got 1, 2, 3 cash flow in things coming in, investments bringing you money in, then guess what? You'll be reaching beyond 100K quick. In fact, the first 100K is the hardest to make. After that, it gets easier and easier until you reach a million. That's what the other videos aren't telling you. Focus on the first 100K first. Another thing that you'll always need with these cash flow vehicles is that you're not putting a product out there and the internet's buying it. People are buying your product. It is always people to people, not business to business or business to commercial and all this stuff. It's people to people. Recognize that you're in a people to people world. So what that means is that if someone is going to give you money for something, whether that be in your job or you're selling a product or a service in a different cash flow vehicle, you need to learn how to get that across to them that your service is worth the money that they're paying. What I'm talking about here is sales, and more specifically, how to negotiate and create a win-win agreement, because nobody wants to be in a lose-win or see you win and them lose. See what I mean? So what you need to do is figure out, how do you always position yourself in a win-win agreement? Okay, so nobody wants to lose out. And if you can't make that win-win deal, you go to a no deal. So what that means is that when you're sitting down with someone like your boss or manager or business owner or somebody who may be a customer, you need to be able to be really, really good at talking about how you create a win-win deal. I'm talking about sales on a deeper level. You see, I do sales training. I help salespeople get more sales. But the true psychology is that people work with people, and people won't work with somebody if they're not winning now or in the long run. So you've learned new sales skills. You've learned about win-win agreements. You've got a good plan in place. You've started to figure out what sort of things can cash flow to allow you to make 100K personal income. Family income is different, by the way. So you and your partner can do this and do 200K if you both follow this advice on this channel. You also need to think about then that you're going to be having a lot of different streams of income. So guess what becomes important? Where are you focusing your time? It's a bit like crops growing in a field. Yeah. If you're a farmer and you're growing crops in a field, you need to make sure that each crop has enough water. If you gave all your water to one crop, that one would be very healthy. Maybe too much water, too much love and attention. You don't need to. As long as it's giving you the fruit and it's growing, that's all you need to do. So figure out how much time you need to allocate to one, and then make sure that you're watering the other plants, i.e., giving time to each one of them. The water in this scenario is time. Where you spend time, money will flow. So what this means is that if you've got 24 hours in the day, you need to break down your sleep time, your food time, your family time, whatever it may be, kids time, allocate all the different slots that you have available. So if you've got 3 cash flow vehicles, each one of those needs time. Now, you may not have all the time in the day, so you might need to think about how you do it over 7 days instead. But still, if you don't water that crop, it will not give you fruit. Just like your cash flow vehicle will not give you cash flow if you do not put time into it. Now, the next point to this is, what do you do in that time? What do you do? What are the actual steps that you're going to take? I'm not going to cover that in this video, but make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch the other videos as well, because I will tell you the step-by-steps for each one of these different cash flow vehicles of what you actually need to do. But again, I emphasize that it all comes back down to what is going on in here. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You can do over 1 million. But first of all, do 100K first. And the reason I'm telling you this is because there's not many people out there that are actually giving you this advice. They're either saying stay in your 9 to 5 job or quit your 9 to 5 job and go and make millions. They're not giving you that bridge in between. So I'm here just to help you achieve that very high income earning goal, so you can start to create a life on your terms, a life where you're not restricted by finances, a life where you can make the decisions and you are in the powerful place and not others. Hope you found this useful. And remember, I'm your coach to help you become a very high income earner. Catch you on the next episode.